Welcome to Forzalicious, the show where we test cars from Forza 4. And today, we're going to test not one, not two, but three different DeLoreans. Well, take a look at that car. 1982, that's a pretty sexy car, considering it's 30 years old. Well, that's really not a surprise when you consider that the body was designed by none other than Giorgetto Giugiaro, the Italian who would later be named Car Designer of the Century. Now, the real problem with the DeLorean was the engine. It was powered by a 2.8-liter engine producing a paltry 130 horsepower. Even by 1982 standards, 130 horsepower is just miserable. The car did have a rear engine, rear drive layout, kind of like a Porsche 911, but unlike a Porsche 911, this thing was a cupcake under the hood. And what really surprises me about the marshmallow power plant in this car is that John DeLorean was the guy who gave us the Pontiac GTO in 1965. That had a 389 cubic inch engine, that's 6.5 liters for our friends in Europe, that made like 400 horsepower. I mean, come on, John, what were you thinking? The first time I drove the DeLorean was in Forza 3, and I gotta say, it was gutless, but it actually handled pretty well. I kinda like it. So let's see how she does on the track, starting with a quarter-mile drag race. Okay, car on the left, a slightly modified DeLorean driven by yours truly. The car on the right, a stock DeLorean. Both are F-Class. Fortunately, the DeLorean doesn't need a whole lot of help to dramatically improve its performance. I simply added a sports air cleaner, sports muffler, and a sports ignition kit. Now we're going to run both cars around the 12-turn course of Infineon Raceway. Okay, got the jump off the line, that's to be expected. A little more horsepower. Turn 2, difficult corner. DeLorean handles it pretty good. That's uphill and off camber. It's a challenging corner. Ooh, a little loose there. Then the professional driver takes it perfect. I always take the carousel wide. Look at that, even in a DeLorean. Here we come into 7. Really two corners, 90 degrees each. Not bad. The DeLorean suspension is a little squishy, but not too bad. The S's now. A little bit of body roll, but not bad. Remember, this is a 1982 car. 1982 tires. Come into 10. Not bad. We're approaching turn 11, near hairpin here. And this is where the DeLorean's brakes kind of failed me here. Coming in wide, it's like, whoops. And there it is. Look at that blistering ET. At the beginning of this video, I told you we were going to drive 3 DeLoreans. So here is a super hot-rodded DeLorean S-Class PI 661. Behold, the DeLorean is silver and black. So what better racing DeLorean than an Oakland Raiders racing DeLorean? This is about as powerful as a DeLorean can get in Forza 4. This one makes over 450 horsepower, has a rating of 661, S-Class. Let's see how she does on the track. Alright, ripped a nice ET, a little quicker than that 458 Italia from last show, but slower in the trap speed, so that makes sense. The Ferrari's a high revving car, it got up a little faster at the end. Alright, I wonder what this pumped up racing DeLorean can do on the 12 turns of Infineon. And how will it compare to that 458 Italia Ferrari that we tested last time? I wonder. They're both similar in PI rating, 645 for the Ferrari, 661 for the racing DeLorean. But the DeLorean is highly modified. Let's see what happens. Oh, nice and tight through turn 2. A little loose exiting. Real twitchy on that rear end, kind of like a 911. One of my better entrances into the carousel. Oh, way loose there. Fast through the S's. The car was really good in the S's. Up on 10 here. Slowed down a little more than I needed to there. I think we're going to spank that 458 Italia. Like a boss. So on the final analysis, the DeLorean's a pretty cool car. I would recommend taking this as an F-Class car for when you first start out the game, or just for racing in those slower events. It's not that it's an amazing car, it's just that it's probably the coolest car in the F-Class. As for my hyper-modified version, I actually like the 458 Italia better. It behaved better. This car was clearly faster, but then again, it's a race car.